Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today. Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies. Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley is the CEO of Akerna, the best trade idea resource out there. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. We're cruising it through the week, baby. 3-day weekend, beautiful weather. I'm not going to say I'm ready for it to start, but I may or may not be ready to hit this 3-day weekend. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Power Hour. This is the Trade Idea Show. This is where we basically just spaz out and hammer on stocks for the next 60 minutes. The only reason we spend this time together, guys, is to get ideas flowing. That's what we're going for. If we do not deliver for you, call us out in the chat. Say, Luke, this is bullshit. You just wasted 30 minutes of my time. The feedback mechanism helps. All right, so jam-packed show ahead of us today. You're not going to hear from me a ton because we have two awesome guests who are going to be joining us. Frank Curzio Research is me coming on. He always drops fundamental ideas. I'm going to push him for 3 ideas. Okay, 3 new ideas. We didn't talk about this ahead of time, so maybe I'm asking for too much. But I'm out here for the people, so that's what I'm going to do. And then Ripster, our favorite recurring guest of the show, is going to be joining us in the second half of the show, talking to us about swing trades. I have some education questions for him as well, so we will dig into that. But before I go ahead and bring Frank on and we just get rocking and rolling on the ideas, we have a third special guest, Jonah Liss, Benzinga intern, 3 weeks in. He's muted. He doesn't know that.
I'm unmuted.
There you go. I bring him onto the stream to make myself look a little older. You know, I get a lot of, young comments. And, I put myself next to Jonah. I'm damn near a senior at that point. But Jonah, what's going on, man? How has your summer at Benzinga been thus far?
Not much. It's been extremely good, though. I've been working directly behind Luke on a lot of things, and it's just been really exciting. And I'm just looking forward to helping the company more as the summer progresses.
What's been the best and worst part of the summer thus far?
The best part of the summer is just kind of like the opportunities to just start doing stuff. If I get an idea and I conceptualize it, I can implement it. And then the worst part, I think you were expecting this, Excel. Luke gives me lots of Excel assignments. I'm getting better, but
yeah, still not good. Let's make it clear. But we'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Jonah got 1,900 out of 1,600 on the SAT. That's above perfect score because he finished it so quickly. All right, he just fucking dunked on all the other kids. All right, so minutes. Jonah, you will be an Excel wizard within the next 4 weeks. Yeah. Guarantee it. If you keep working with me, you will learn Excel. Mm-hmm. All right, and because this is the stock idea show, I'm going to push you for one. Do you have a stock idea for us? You can say no. And we'll work on it and get it ready for next week.
Yeah, give me a minute to think.
All right, we'll say no, but don't worry. Hey, hang out on the stream for a minute, Jonah, because I have somebody who's going to be joining us who I know has stock ideas. Let's go ahead. Let's bring Frank Curzio on to the Power Hour. Get the idea flow going, guys. Smash a like. Share the stream. Let's fire this thing up. Frank, what is going on, man? How are you doing today?
Great. I'm a little upset you brought in Jonah there because now it makes me look old. So maybe you can get Peter Schiff there and make me look younger, maybe.
Yes. Let's go. Shots fired. What's going on, man? Any big plans for the weekend?
You know what? Spending time with the family. I mean, we're all busy with work and stuff like that. So looking forward to spending time with my 2 beautiful young daughters and, just watching fireworks and having some fun. So hopefully everyone is doing the same thing.
All right. There we go. And then what's on the stock radar? Jonah didn't come through for us. I haven't dropped any new ideas yet. I do have a ticker I want to talk about if we have time today, but we'll see.
Yeah,
but
Jonah,
what's on the stock radar?
Jonah, you always have to have a stock idea.
Yeah, I will say, I just don't like talking out my ass. So I guess next week I'll do my research.
Yeah, you're not going to be you're never going to have a stock market show. You want to talk out your ass. So here's the tip, Jonah. When you're doing interviews, if you're doing like either sell side or buy side interviews, when somebody asks you for a stock pitch, say which sector, and have one ready for each sector.
Okay, yeah, that's good advice. I guess I'll know that coming in next time.
That's what I did. I wound up at Benzinga, so maybe it's not great advice. But all right, Frank, what's going on in your world? What should we be taking a look at?
Okay, we'll start from boring. And when I say boring, usually the boring picks go up the most because the most story-oriented stocks are ones everybody wants to get into. So I hate when I recommend stocks, curves, and research in my newsletters when everyone's like, that's a great pick and I love it. I'm usually like, oh, shit. So it's better when they're like, hey, you sure you like it? With this, there hasn't been that much news in the markets this week, right? It's 24-hour news cycle. Everybody needs news out there. But, we're in between earnings season, a little bit of news here and there, a little economic data, unemployment coming out tomorrow. But there was really big news on Monday when the banks passed the stress tests. And I feel like no one really talked about that and looked at it because when you look under the hood, it's 23 banks. They all passed the stress test. Everybody knew that was going to happen. If you look at the capital that these guys have on their balance sheets, it's more capital than they've ever had in the history, right? They're more strong than they've ever been in the history of America. And you're looking at specific ideas. If you look at the banks, they have a special requirement, I won't get too technical, of a percentage, CET1 it's called, that they have to have more than 4.5%. They have 2x more than that. What does that mean? That means they have tons and tons and tons of capital on their balance sheet. They can't really do anything with it other than buy back stock and increase their dividends. And the tailwinds behind the banking industry, again, a lot of these are large cap banks. Some of the ones I like are Capital One, 32% of their market cap in excess
What was that, COF? Yep.
COP.
Wait, what? What P?
COP.
No, where's COF? Where's COF?
Oh, COF, Capital F. Sorry. Okay. So COF, Capital One. You're looking at a company that has $22 billion in excess capital on the balance. Just to put that, it's 32% of their market cap, and they're going to be buying. Really, what that means in simple terms is the company doesn't even have to grow earnings, right? It's automatically going to grow because they're going to be buying back stock and raising their dividend. But because of the laws in place, they're bigger and bigger and bigger. You're looking at loan losses down. Net interest margins are already great in a low interest rate environment. Interest rates are definitely going higher. It could take 18 months, 24 months for the Fed finally, right? We got inflation all over the place before they finally start raising. Capital One is just a great name. And you're looking at household wealth at record highs. You're looking at all asset price at all-time highs. So that leads to more loans, which you're seeing in the market. Everything's reopening. And we know that if anything happens and the market goes to shit, we know that the Fed's going to bail these guys out, right? They did it in 2008, 2009. They also did it last year by just giving everyone handing checks, $10.5 trillion. But and one other name in the banking sector, so I'll give you 4 today, is PNC. So 17% is a match of $14 billion in excess capital. I know they're kind of boring. They're going to give you dividends that are constantly going to be raised. Earnings are going to explode already. Plus, they're going to be buying back stock. For me, those names, if you're looking to put that in your conservative portfolio, not the AMCs, the Doges, and the GameStops, those are two that should be in everyone's portfolio over the next 3 to 5 years.
Wow, and you brought up the dividend increases. So I'm just looking at PNC right now as an example. So in 2015, 50 cents a share. Latest dividend, $1.15. Yeah, I mean, that's more than 100%.
So you're going to see the amount explode for these guys when it comes to the amount of buybacks that are coming back. I mean, they're going to be buying back 15% of their float, which is insane when you think about it, right? So that's great. You're going to see earnings explode higher. I don't see that factored in, but nobody really talked about what was under the hood. And Neel Kashkari was hilarious. He's the Fed president, Minnesota, and said, we're not really going to bail these guys out, which is a joke. So I just had my podcast, Wall Street Unplugged, and said that Neel Kashkari is full of shit, because he controlled the fund, the TARP fund, in 2008, 2009, which bailed these guys out. Just to put in perspective, J.P. Morgan had a market cap of $140 billion in 2008, and they would deem too big to fail. Yep. It's $460 billion today, and he's like, "Well, banks can't expect to get bailed. They're always going to get bailed out. They're 3x the time size when you bailed them out. When you told everyone they're too big to fail. Now it's even crazier because you can't get a mid-cap bank to get into a large-cap bank. The laws don't allow that kind of competition. So those big banks are there. They control the sector. They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just cool, safe plays on a risk-adjusted basis.
Yeah, okay. I like the bank play. So I sold shares of GameStop for $420.69, and I made more money trading Bank of America than I did off of that GameStop move. I had Leaps. I bought Leaps coming out of the COVID lows. I went all the way out to 2022 for nothing.
Nice.
And made a ton of money on them. And then the other bank thesis that I have, which brings up the point, which draws in the point that you just made, is I own a ton of these small community and regional banks, but basically with the thesis of Regulatory expenses are only going to get higher. Interest rates are going to stay low. These banks have great balance sheets. They already have retail locations, but they just can't get the margins that these mega banks can get. And so it makes them takeover targets for these banks, and all that capital that you're talking about on the balance sheet sort of speaks to that idea as well. So I like the big but boring bank trade.
Even the regionals are going to do well, though, because there's so much money into the system right now, right? I mean, everybody has money. There's so much money. There's just not enough goods that are being produced. I mean, you're looking at Ford and GM, probably good shorts right now. They're talking their EV portfolios in 2030 because production is going to come down 30 to 40%. They're just the supply chain is wrecked. Yeah. And no one's really talking about that at all. I mean, it's people are like, yeah, it's going to last like another couple of months. They just shut down their plants again. They just idled their plants. I mean, if you go to buy a new car today, you're lucky for your specs. Say if you want your color and whatever, it's going to take 9 to 12 months to get delivered right now. And people are saying it's going to be 3 months. It's much, much, much longer. Anyone that's in the market for a car, bought a car, knows exactly what I'm talking about. But the sell-side analysts appear to be well behind. They're not behind the story. They're well behind the curve on this.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I've got a forward long position. I need to. The stock's holding up, thank God. Even though they just announced that they're closing down U.S. plans. For like a month.
I mean, look, I could be wrong on it because
Jesus Christ. No, I mean I got to manage that trade.
No, listen. The stock's doing very well. They have some of the best EV technology. I know that from going to Consumer Electronics Show for the past 10 years. The last 4 years, I've been saying it. People say you're crazy, and I'm like, they're spending billions, and it resulted in their stock price getting hit. But now they're ahead of the game. It could go higher because the cars that they're selling above sticker at some of these dealerships. So you might not see too much of a hit, but I just think those production cuts, they're going to be massive. They're not factored in, but we'll see. I don't want to see you selling this thing continue because I'm very always hesitant to tell people to short a stock or just to sell it when it's at or near its all-time high, right? Usually it tends to go a little bit higher. You like to see something break first.
All right. So you gave us the bank ideas. What else? Can we get another one?
Some of the best ideas that you're ever going to get. And if you listen to this, you have kids, listen to your kids because the things that they use is what all kids are using. Okay. They're not going to say, hey, Dad, buy this stock. And even if you have like younger brothers or sisters, the best ideas come from younger people. They see trends before everybody else, especially in technology. The same goes when I recommended Facebook a long time ago when Zuckerberg decided to take over Instagram. And all the analysts said they wanted his head on a platter, right? It was $2 billion they paid for it. And it was barely in earnings. And they said, you're crazy. And look, and whatever it is, 40, 50, $60 billion it's valued at. The young generation understood that. The older generation wanted to have his head on a platter and get rid of Zuckerberg. So my point is when you listen to kids and what they use, usually means a lot more people are using them. And one of those things is Roblox. Roblox just IPO'd. RBLX is the symbol. This is a company. It's Fortnite on steroids. Sales are going to double over the next 3 years from I think it's around 1.8 billion to over 4 billion. 2 billion in cash on a balance sheet. It's a money-making, cash flow generating machine. This is a name that my daughters use and all the time. They're like, Dad, can I have $5? Can I have just to upgrade? And it allows you to build your own games, your own systems. It is unbelievable. Once you're in that, you don't come out. And it's good for parents too, because we love to spend time with our kids, but sometimes I like to spend time with my wife, right? So, and they're like, hey, so I'll give her $5 each, let them play a little while. And we got like an hour and a half to ourselves, but you're going to see earnings and sales explode for this name. This isn't like a hyped name that came out with an IPO that, hey, we're going to like Virgin Galactic. Well, we'll go to the moon. I mean, they have no earnings, right? They're not going to the moon anytime soon, and you're not going to see it. So they're going to continue to raise money. It's a crazy stock price and whatever. This is a company that's generating a massive, massive amount of cash flow. It's going to get even bigger and bigger going forward. I think it's a great, great buy here. So it went up to 100 after its IPO, and then it came down a little bit. And I think right now is a really good buy. I think it's going to go well above 150 pretty much in the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay, so next catalyst. Let's talk catalysts on this one. Is it that we're waiting for the next quarterly earnings result, and we're going to see some outperformance there, or what exactly are we waiting on?
Well, for me, I would wait on. You're going to see a transition, right? Because this is a company that exploded in growth. So you have all the early investors in, and their lockup periods when these come out are usually like 4 months. So you're going to get investors pretty much rotation. It's not the lockup period comes out if you have a good company, they'll sell a little bit, right? They'll sell a little bit of the shares. They might not sell all of it, but you're also going to see more and more buying too. So you might see the stock hover around here a little bit over the next couple months. It just IPO'd, but once you get a quarter down, and even for IPOs, you want to make sure you have that quarter down. They just reported metrics, and they were okay, but the amount of money that they're generating is okay, and the growth is incredible going forward. But you want to make sure, because it's hard to go from a private company to a public company. Now, all your financials, you got to do your first conference call ever. You have analysts on it. It's very professional. You're not used to it. Everything's by the book. You get past that period, and then I think people are really going to understand that this isn't just some hype company and a name that, hey, a lot of kids use and tens of millions, hundreds of millions of kids use. This is something that's generated. They spend a lot of money and a lot of time on this platform, and it's a pretty cool platform. They enjoy it. It has safety measures in place, so it's really, really great for younger kids, and I see that revenue exploding and earnings exploding going forward.
Are you saying that the earnings will likely explode just based on their current business model, or with the newfound like cash flow and stuff, are they trying to expand what they do?
Well, both. I mean, when you have cash flow, what does that mean? It allows you to put money back into the business, right? So if they want to acquire different things, if they want to launch new products, if they're not going to buy back stock, but if unless the stock does come down. But having that extra cash allows them so many different things. Now you're going to see the synergies come in play too, right? Because now it's how do you generate the biggest thing with the business model has changed over the last 15 years, right? It used to be like, we want to see earnings and growth. Now we want to see people on a platform. Disney is a good example of this. So Disney isn't making any money on their subscribers. It was 100 million. People wanted to see those subscribers come in. I changed over to Verizon. I got their Disney service, Disney Plus, for free. And I said, how long will I have it for? They said forever. They're charging me nothing for it, right? Because they need those numbers. And that drove the stock price. Because they know once they have those numbers, now it's not that hard to monetize. It's much harder to get the crowd there. Totally. These are guys that have the crowd there that are paying subscribers already. It's very easy to find other ways to upsell them. That's what Facebook did as well. They got all these people on that platform. Then they started launching advertising, right? When that stock came out, IPO'd, I forgot when it was, whatever, 10 years ago. It came off, right? They're like, how are they going to generate money? It was just a matter of time before they found out. It's hard to get everyone onto one platform. When you do, it's very easy to make money and also synergies between them to start new games, charge new things, just like if it's Candy Crush or whatever, right? It's different versions you're going to be paying for. Some of these people with Roblox, not only do they go on, they pay for the services. It gives them extreme benefits over other users, and it's just a funnel that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I think that also makes it extremely interesting. Like, I've never used the platform personally, but I think that you can definitely differentiate from other products in the sense that people would stay on in like the long term, and there would be reluctance to move away from the product in the future.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Facebook. It's the thing with social media. It's not just, hey, there's a lot of people on it. When they're on social media, when they're on TikTok, they're on for 20, 30 minutes, which is insane, right? Because all of us are busy. You're busy. You're doing the show. Who knows? You got meetings after this. To get 20 minutes of someone's time to look at something, that's incredibly, incredibly valuable to advertisers. And that's going to open up the door for an advertising platform, which, they're generating mostly subscriptions and different, price points of what they're paying for and different things you could buy within the game. But we're not even talking advertising yet, which, again, so many opportunities are going to open up for this company, and they're well positioned.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Frank, I appreciate you coming on, dropping the ideas per usual. Got the nice brick wall in the background. I always appreciate a good background.
Should I give the secret away or no?
All right, give the secret away.
All right, the secret away is it's not real. It's a drop back. It's drop in, but everybody acts. It's real.
It looks real. It looks real. Okay.
Put the bricks in.
Put it up yourself. Yeah, there you go.
One last thing before I go. One last thing. I told you I'd give you 4 stocks. Just take a look at AMD as a trade. Intel's delayed orders again, or delayed, weather chips again. That's AMD's benefit. If you look at AMD, it's really, really breaking out. Failed to break it through 100 a couple months ago. Now it's really starting to break out now. If you look at the chart in the past month and a half or so, I think it's going to well past 100. A very, very good trade over the next couple months.
Boom. I like it. Thank you, sir. First air horns of the day. Let's fire it up, Frank. How do folks stay in touch?
Thanks, guys. So to stay in touch, you could go to WSU, which is Wall Street Unplugged, so WSUpodcast.com. Been doing the podcast for 14 years. We have lots of ideas. I just interviewed the SEC commissioner, which is really cool. And just great guests on there. And also you can go to Curzia Research to find our products and newsletters, which will always provide lots of ideas, and most of them are unique, which is really cool. So thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Frank, appreciate you hopping on as always, as you do every week. I'll see you next week, sir.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care.
Peace. Oh. Boom. All right, there we go. There's the nice little commercial.
Shout out Frank.
Boom. There we go. All right, Jonah. I'm gonna let you get back to whatever it is that you're doing in this summer internship. Keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep plugging away at the Excel. You'll figure out the V lookups and the H lookups and the index matches. I'm telling you, 4 weeks, you'll have it down.
Yep.
It's time for us to bring our next guest of the day onto the show, Ripster. Ripster is going to be hopping on with us in just a second here, guys. If you have tickers, drop them in the chat. This is the Idea Show. We will get them flying. Like the stream, share the stream, and let's bring Ripster on.